Hi everybody. Today we're going to have a look at the cockpit on the ID Buzz and on the cargo as well, just to show you the comparison between the two. Obviously we're going to start on the Buzz behind me. That's got more things on the dash feature, so we're going to have a look at those, have a look at the door cards, etc., see what you kind of get within that central dash area that's there, and then we'll move on to the cargo one. So let's get started straight away. So one of our demonstrators, you've probably seen one of these before in the colour that we've got on here. So as you open the door and you get into the cockpit area, so the first things, obviously from the door card perspective on here, you've got plenty of storage down at the bottom to put things in, cups, etc. That's in there. You've got a little tray in here. It's got a little rubber mat on as well to stop things moving about. That goes all the way back into the door card, so it comes up to about here. Plenty of space that's there. We've got the tailgate release. That obviously just pull that, and that will open the tailgate on it if it's got the electric tailgate on it, depending on the model that you've got. And then on the central door card, then we've got all our good things for our electric mirrors that's on here. So things like our central locking at the top, our controls for the mirrors, where they're going to, electric windows, etc. that's in there as well. And you notice we've got a bit of padding that's on here as well. You'll see the difference between that and the cargo version when we look at it from here, but very much the same detailing as round. Obviously this one's colour matched to the outside of the vehicle as well, having the orange and the orange as well. So let's jump in. So let's work our way across the dash. So first thing is we've got our little display panel on here. This is to do with most common functions. Lighting mode, obviously it's also set to auto, which is how most people would have it. But things like, for example, we've got heated front windscreen, heated screen that's on here as well. Things like your fog lights on the rear, and to put on your maximum heating for the front. So on a day like today, it's about -2 at the moment here. So obviously today you push that one there for max ventilation and get your heated windscreen on as well. And that will get it all defrosted as well really, really fast. Quick tip for these as well though is if you've got the ID app, which you've pretty much got to have with one of these vehicles, it gives you everything in there. You don't even need to come out to your vehicle anyway. You can just tell it to warm up, set the temperature you want a little bit before you go out, and it'll do it all for you anyway. So you don't even need to reheat the vehicle or anything like that. You can do it from the inside, which is always better. So then moving on to the steering wheel. So we've got the steering wheel in the central position here. As with all these, you've got a reach and rake function that comes in and out. Controls on the steering wheel, which work all the multifunction display. We're going to do a completely separate video on that and the information system as well and how it all works together. That'll probably be quite a long video that's in there, but we're going to do that very soon. On one stalk here is our gear stick, effectively. So on here is drive, you just push it forward to go. And then obviously you've got park on the end, and reverse is click it the other way. And then on the other side of here, we've got our indicators up and down, our windscreen wipers, which are just on the little toggle that's on here on the top as well, and our rear windscreen wiper on the top here. So you've got all those controls nice and to hand that's there as well. These vehicles are great because you'll see from this one, we've got because it's the style, we've got the play and the pause button on the dash that's on there. You literally jump in this vehicle, foot on the brake, whack it into drive and go. It's as easy as that. You're not messing around with handbrakes or anything like that you need to when it comes up, and just go. So a bit more about the dash. As we were saying on here, we've got a bit of colour coding that's on here. We've got a bit of a storage area here to put things in, coins, etc. you might want to put in there. A vent here for the heat to come out of, which comes out on the side that's on here. You'll also notice we've got a bit of a vent here as well onto the window side that comes up. And then looking at the actual dash itself as it comes round, we've talked about this once before, but we've got this big curve in the front part of the dash, which it comes down here, and then the central control bit here. So we've got electronics, etc. in the front of here that you can't see. And then obviously you've got the big expanse of the dash all the way across. You've got your silver bits on here, your wood effect plastic, which comes on here. It's just a nice little touch to it, give you a bit of definition between the dash. You've got another air vent on the far side of the vehicle as well. And then as we move over across the dash, so on this section of the dash here, we've got 2 USB-C sockets that's in here, and it looks like a tray, but in actual fact, it's a pocket which goes deep down. So if I've got my phone from here, my phone will actually go in and go all the way down into there. And this is what does the wireless charging if you've got the wireless charging that's on the vehicle. So but that's quite a nice place to put your phone anyway. It's nice and handy that's in there, and if you did have it plugged in, you can have it plugged in we'll neat it out of the way. I think I'd probably use that quite a lot. So we've got 2 more vents in the bottom section on here, which should bring out for the heating system or the cooling system, either way. Obviously, we've got our big screen that's on here. We're going to have a look at the cargo, as I said in a minute. You'll notice the cargo one's slightly smaller, but again, it depends on your options that you've got on your particular vehicle. But you will notice that's very, very similar. We mentioned it before, but obviously these are in white. It looks really nice in the white with this combination of vehicle, but you can get them in black as well. So moving across from on the dash, we've got another section here with your plastic to put things in, and then we've got our huge glove box, lots and lots of space. It's in there, full size. With these vehicles as well, I should point out, you haven't got a big handbook now because you don't need it. You have got a little manual that's with the vehicle that comes in with it as well, but those are in there. So before we move over onto the door card area now, the last thing on here is the central bit here. It's just a little catch on the inside. You press it and pull it down, and then this here is your 2 cup holders that you've got, and you can put those in there. And then if you don't need them, obviously you can just pull it out and move it out of the way, and it's nice and compact that's there. So let's move on and have a look at the other door card on the passenger side. Very similar to the driver's side. So the top section on here, we've got our electric window for this particular side, and then moving down again, we've got storage in here with the rubber section. It goes all the way to the back, a bit more down at the bottom, and we've got our USB-C power socket that's there. It's also worth noting that on the front of this vehicle's got the intelligent lights package, which is on the style version, and that gives you a light strip across the front that'll indicate to you when it's doing certain things. So at the moment it's on showing you green because it's on charge, and at the very far end is showing you how much charge is in there, and that orange is going to work its way across and gradually come green as more and more charge comes into the vehicle. Obviously it's not going to stay on all the time, it's just on there because we've just plugged it in, but it gives you an indication. But that lighting strip can also be used for lots of other things as well. So things like your pre-sensor emergency braking system, for example, it can come on and give you a light indication for those as well. There's lots and lots of things that go. Again, going to have to do a separate video on that because it's quite a long topic in itself, and that'll be coming to you soon. 2 last things in the cab area to talk about. One is our head-up display that's up here, and this controls our light function. We've also got, as part of our Connect series as well, things like our spanner sign that's on here and our information buttons that you can call up, and obviously the important SOS button with our main SOS button just hidden behind there as well. We'll be going through all that when we talk about the ID app, which is a must for these vehicles for in here, and how you set that up. It's very easy to use it off the dash as well, and we'll be doing a separate video on that and talk to you about a whole different reach of features which that does. So finally, for the cab area, we have to talk about the buzz box, and the buzz box is here. But I'm just going to take it out for a minute. Just push this down all the way in there, and then this will just come out, so it's not off the floor. And let's talk about it with a bit more space, shall we? So this is the buzz box. As it says, it's located in between the seats that's there. If you look at it on the bottom of it, you can see these are the clips that it clips into in the floor just to keep it moving. But so on the top of there, we've got our ice scraper, very handy this time of year. That just goes back in there. Our bottle opener on the other side, and you'll see these ridges. Basically, this can slot in all the way along there depending on what you want it to do. And then at either end of the buzz box, we've also then got one that pulls out, so we've got extra storage you can put in on there. And then if I turn it around the other way, put it to the back section, we've actually got a pull-out drawer as well that's in there. The pull-out drawer, obviously that sits at the back, so you'd normally have it here, so that will be in there at the front, and then the pull-out drawer, which obviously will help your rear passengers, which is in the rear, and they can put storage things in there as well. So while we're here, let's have a look at the cargo behind us, and we can have a look at the differences on the dash on there. So moving over to the cargo version, you will notice things are very, very similar to a certain extent. So things like your steering wheel, for example, here, your head-up display at the front, your main unit that's on here as well, all looks exactly the same as what it is in the Buzz. The very front part of the dash is very similar as well. This very front section that's here, and then it obviously then does change compared to the Buzz. So you've got these huge pockets in the front here for you to put things in as it goes down on either side of them. And then on one side here, we've got a 12-volt socket from there. And then on the opposite side, we have USB-C socket. And the whole feel of the dash is a lot more practical. So obviously it's all the same material throughout from on here as well. So you've got a little tray down here for things to go in. On the Buzz version, this would drop down, that's here. Obviously in here, it doesn't have that facility, but you can still use it for storage. And there is like a cup port in there, so you can put a cup in there. And then moving over to the top part of the dash here, we've got another tray function here for you to put lots of things in. It's quite deep. And of course, as we've already looked at again, we've got that big open glove box, huge amount of space that's in there as well. So take that out, gives you an idea how much space that there is, but you can get lots and lots of things in the glove box as well. And then over on the passenger side as well, we've got another socket over here. And again, tray to put things in, big deep pocket trays as well for storage as well. Okay, well, that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It really just helps the channel out, and we'll see you in the next video.